Hey guys, this is the second part of my garden video. So I'll start here. And what you're seeing here are fingerling cucumbers. And we're trying to get them to climb up that lattice. But they are and they aren't. And then right here is a yellow squash. We thought it was a cucumber at first and put it in with the cucumbers. But look at the baby squash. So cute. And again, this is the cucumber. I'll show you the little cucumbers. They're so little. So then this is an onion that I planted in the house, or that I got from like a yellow onion from our house, and planted it out here. We're letting it turn to seed. I see there's a bug in there. Oh, it could be a bee, so I don't want to touch that. I don't know. Let's see if we put the camera to him. Boy, we got a lot of mosquitoes out here. So yeah, you see there's bees. But boy, it smells good like an onion. Now this was supposed to be a garlic patch, but the garlic came up and died. So I don't know. It really didn't do very well. And this, because if you looked at that one video that I put up, Frustrating Day in the Garden, this was the patch that there's actually like a garage or something that was underneath this area, and people, just brought in dirt and backfilled it. So I don't know that we'll get very much of anything out of this patch. So anyhow, these are onions, and they're different types. There's yellow, purple, and white. Some are doing good, and like other ones aren't. And I've weeded out here and everything, and we put grass for mulch, but nothing's really coming up too great. So we'll see what we can get out of them. Okay, then we did have radishes here, and we're letting this one here turn to seed. You see all the seeds it's making? It is huge. It was like, almost as tall as me. Here we have some squash. Now these will be kabocha squash. Here's another one here. You see him growing he's going way out. He's covering up my leaf lettuce. But we've had some lovely leaf lettuce. And the more I notice, the more you take from it, the better it grows. So if you're ever growing lettuce, don't be afraid to take from it. And then you get these little pesky guys. They like it too. And we have some more squash, kabocha. These little guys I planted, these are actually lilac bushes. And I was going to put them in the ground somewhere, but didn't know where to put them. So we just left them in pots in this hole that we had that in that video where that Frustrating Day, a big rock under there we couldn't get out. Moving on, we have here some more tomatoes up here. Now these ones my husband planted from seed. And you see they're doing really good. They were a little bit behind mine that's in the big garden. So he actually didn't think he was going to get anything from it. But nope, we are. We're going to get tomatoes because you see the flowers. Now if you don't have these, but we do, but if you don't, what you're supposed to do is just take the thing and go like this. Just give it a little flick, and that helps pollinate. But we do have bees. Plenty of them up here where we live. The old place we lived, we grew some tomatoes in pots, and we didn't have any bees to pollinate, and some of them didn't turn out too good. So, but that's a little trick. Just tap the little stems. Okay, again, here's that squash. Man, is he growing. He's huge. He's just spreading all out here, which is fine. Here's our kale. Look at that kale. It's just growing crazy out here. We've eaten so much kale, and it is delicious. Very, very delicious. See, if I take this out tonight, maybe this squash will have room to grow more. And then some of these plants you'll see, these are broccoli in here. it was just a seed that had dropped out of, like, you know, when we were planting broccoli. It just dropped like in the middle of the aisle, and so we left it grow, and it got pretty good. It got wild, but I was going to paint the fence. Because, like I said, we just moved in here in October, and this fence is pretty, it really needs replaced, but I thought if I gave it a coat of paint, maybe it would work, but we wanted the garden instead, so we'll just deal with the ugly looking fence till maybe later after the garden's done, you know. We probably are going to do a fall, so I don't know. We'll see. But this is our broccoli. You'll see up here, this broccoli up here. Look at him. He's getting ahead. Oh, looks good. We've taken some leaves off. You can eat these leaves, you know. You can steam them. They're edible, and they're delicious. Okay, and then here's one that didn't make it, you see? But we left it in there because it was like, oh, well, let the bugs get that. And my little pepper plants, I don't know if they're going to be any good or not, because these I did by seed, and I brought them out here, and the bugs were getting to them. And this is where our garden is all organic, so we're not putting any pesticides on it. So what I did do is I took some leaves off, and it started growing better. So we'll see. If we don't get anything, well, that's okay too. And these are my my strawberry plants. This one I had last year in a pot, and she did give me some strawberries, but now they're shooting off runners. You see the runners? I'm letting them grow because I want to have a little strawberry patch up here next year. Here's another one, and I just buried him underground. I'm not quite sure if that's how you do it. I think so. But the other runner, we did get some strawberries off of them, both of them. But now I'm letting it get its runners, get seeded. See, this one did. You see how I let it do the same as that. Just buried it in the dirt, and then when it roots itself, you got a whole nother plant. Now's the time that I need to be cutting this off of that. So you take, well, you should have a scissors. Yeah. So you take scissors and you cut the runner off of the parent plant, and then that's how you'll get more strawberry plants. Where I used to live with my grandfather and stuff when I was a little girl, we had about 500 strawberry plants, and I remember sometimes he would say don't cut the runners, and other times he'd say cut the runners, depending on if he wanted fruit off of that plant. But they'll keep producing and producing. You'll have lots of strawberries. So that's just a little tip. And here we have peas. They're filling out nicely. My husband taught me that you take it and you twist it like this. I'm trying this with one hand, guys, so don't laugh at me. But there you go. See how easy that was, just to twist it off? These here guys are almost done. We've eaten so many peas from here, you know, a little at a time, because we didn't plant a whole bunch. We just planted one row to see. And some of them, you know, some of the things are already starting to turn like a bright color, saying I'm dead, I'm going to be dead soon. And some are just going to produce and produce. But that's that. And let's see what else. Oh, looky. It is always fun. Rick said, oh, how fun it is to harvest and, you know, be able to eat the fruits of your labor. And it's so true. Little guy, come on off. Well, he came off a little bit, but that's okay because he opened up, and I'll take the peas from him. Yeah, let's see. Oh, this here ain't doing no good. See, I think something, okay, so we have these two mounds right here, and I had put watermelon in there, little watermelon seeds. You make a mound and you put like 5 or 6, that's what the package said, and they all died. So we had some extra squash over there, and so my husband says, oh, let's bring the little squash guys over here. But you see, they're not doing any good here. Underneath here is a garage too that was covered up. I don't know why they did that with our front yard, but that's what they did. And so I don't even know. I think what had happened was they must have had a garage here and then it burned down, and then they just left the cement or whatever, you know, from it, the foundation part, and then covered it, backfilled it all in with soil. The top, as you can see, is very good to grow. Nothing's wrong, but this some sections like this one, and I showed you the onion section, it's not doing very well. Okay, let's see what else I want to show you. Here's our daylilies. They come up. They're beautiful. And then all these flowers I did by seed. I'll show you better from the porch, but right now, let's see. These are starting to close up. They have produced all these beautiful little yellow flowers going all the way down. You can see where they have closed up for the time. And I did plant this little hosta in here. He's growing, if he doesn't get overweeded by the rest of these flowers here. And our last patch is these potatoes. Look at them. Oh, this is a jug we put water in. Give them a little drink. But so this row here is all russets that I had eyes from russets, you know, potatoes that I just took. And then these ones, we could not get a Yukon Gold to grow, and so we had to go to our local hardware store that they have like potatoes and things like that, and they had them in these bags, and the stems were super long, the eyes I mean were super long on them, so we thought, oh well, we'll try it. And they are really, they're huge, just huge. They got flowers. These are potato flowers. If you've never seen it, they're so cute. Some, I guess you get seed from these, but my husband said he's never planted potatoes from seed, but apparently you can. And so there's the row. If you can see, the row is here. I'll back up a little bit so you can see. See the rows like that? And so he healed them the other day because they started to fall. But I mean, they're massive. They are beautiful. Just beautiful plants. At first I was like, oh, I don't want you taking our whole front yard to make a garden, but it really is beautiful. Now, this is our compost. We dug this all up pretty deep and put this little, it was someone had left it here at the house. It was for flower beds or whatever, or I guess you could do raised gardening too. But we decided, oh, maybe we keep it for compost, and so we'll have good soil for the areas. But here's what happens when you have things that decide to grow. They stray. Just so if you throw your potatoes in the summertime, the eyes grow fast. So you throw them in here, right? And then they decide to sprout. So we have potatoes sprouting up everywhere, and we have nowhere to grow. We have no more ground, well, we do, but we don't want to dig up too much more ground. We've got a lot. And so they're growing in there, and I don't know if we're going to keep them growing or turn them over. And then this little guy started shooting up. I think he's a squash. And we're going to see what happens to him if he decides to keep growing, just for the experiment. And there's 2 more squash growing as an experiment. It's the fun thing about gardening, is that you get to see different things that you never saw, and you got to see like a seed turn into a plant and then eventually turn into fruit for you and your family. So if you have a piece of land, I would highly suggest gardening. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun, especially when you get to eat it. Okay guys, well, hopefully you like this video. Oh, let me show you real quick our flowers, okay? Okay, so we're up here on the deck, and here are zinnias. They are gorgeous. I planted them from a seed packet, like a 50-cent seed packet from like a dollar store or something. I found them. I don't know if they're going to grow, but they did. I put them in this planter box. Look how pretty. I think I'm going to grow these again next year. They have different colors to them. And they smell good. Here's the orange ones. See how pretty? And then we have petunias too. I grew from seed. Here we go. He's tall. He's a tall petunia. I had originally put marigolds in here too, but he was right here in this spot. But as you can see, my marigold was like this tall and the plants were too high, because you can see how tall they are. And it wasn't looking, it wasn't getting any sun, so I decided to take him out. I put him down in the farm garden. Okay, now here's the strawberry that I potted in here. He was the first strawberry runner. He's doing good. And these here, guys, are called Nasturtium. These are actually edible flowers. And man, they smell good. You can see how pretty they are. People take them off and put them like on top of, you know, like a chef can do, like on top of some kind of food, whatever food they want, and you can eat them. And then here's the marigold I have growing over here. Isn't he pretty? He is pretty. Like I said, I grew all these from seed, and it's just been a beautiful experience. Boy, you know how much money they charge you for marigolds and things right in the store? And a seed packet, you get just as pretty. Look at that. That's in the zinnia. See? Beautiful. Okay, and then I'm going to show you this. These here, petunias, the original plant that was in here came out of a plant that we bought at Walmart. It was, last year it was white, red, and yellow for, white, red, and blue for the 4th of July. Okay, so I took this whole planter thing in the house and let it winter over. And it had some other type of flower in here, and then it dropped all these seeds. Well, the seeds turned into these. So these are like the second part of that. The original plant died, but left all the seeds. Look at this. And what I did was, you see these spots, that there's like spots missing? That's because I took them out and I transplanted them. Let me show you. So there's 2 in here, transplanted. I transplanted these 4. And then I transplanted these 4. You see that? How much would that they would have charged, you know, at the store? Quite a lot. But I saved some money and I got some beautiful flowers to enjoy. And sometimes you get a piece of grass that you see in it. You got to take that out. And this guy, if you don't know what this is cilantro. And man, he is growing. He is starting to get flowers on him. So that's okay, because my husband decided, I don't really like the flavor of cilantro, but they're edible, totally edible. You can just take the leaf off, you know, just take one of these like this, pinch it, and you can eat it, just like that. You can eat mint like that too. Next year, I'm going to get some chocolate mint, because the regular mint's good, but the chocolate mint, oh, it's delicious. I had a chance to taste that. Okay, guys, well, this is my little video for our patio, or courtyard garden tour. Hopefully you guys like it, and like I said, this will be the second video of the first video that's coming up. The first one is our main garden, and this was our patio garden. So hopefully you like this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tune up for more videos. Have a great summer, guys. Bye.